Hi, I'm Grant Abbott, and I'm lucky today to be here with Marc Withnall, who is from SMSF Property. Marc, you've got a few good things going on in southeast Queensland.
Yes, we do, Grant. The key combination of SMSF and properties really starting to emerge as one of the big changes in the property development sector, with lots of trustees who are managing their own super looking for opportunities in the property space.
I know certainly that's a big change. I mean, there's now $430 billion sitting inside self-managed super funds, and to date there's only been around about $8 to $10 billion, which is huge, but in the property market. But I think you, SMSF Property, is just doing something a little bit differently.
Yeah, well, we kind of recognise that there is a lot of demand for property in these individual funds. But there's a few key areas, as you know, that stop them from being really involved. One of them is that they can't really create the property themselves. So we feel like we've pretty much solved that problem. As well, where we are since the GFC, Grant, as we've discussed many times, all the debt, the bank debt's been sucked out of the development sector. So there's now quite a lot of margin to be made in that sector if you can raise the capital and rely on no debt. So that's really one of those two key issues are what we're looking with this product to deliver to the SMSF client.
So can you just give us a bit of a rundown on the steps of what happens with SMSF Properties, so that for an investor they walk in, and then what happens from there to the end play?
Well, there is a lot of SMSF trustees out there currently buying retail property, okay? But one of the things that became really obvious to us was that right at the moment, with no bank debt, there is a lot of money to be made in the property sector for patient investors who want to make some money out of the manufacturing process, okay? The retail market is still holding up quite well. In the last 12 months, we've seen some softening in prices, but really what's happened is all the development opportunities have collapsed in value because there's no debt. So what we're saying is, right at the moment, great opportunities. We can put together some really good profit margins and enable a consolidated base of SMSF investors to make those returns, and we're using no debt. Now that's a real key issue, because now obviously with debt we could leverage returns and returns would be improved, but we're going for lower returns, but we're going for all that de-risking that takes place in a property project where you don't have any debt and no one's over your shoulder telling you when to sell or how to sell, and no one can really get in our way. So really what we're doing is, the way we're setting them up is we're saying, here is the project, here are the simple numbers, here's the land, here's what the gross, the guaranteed fixed price to build is, add them up, here's what an independent valuer says that the product is going to be worth, do your own sums, and there's the margin. Now, and that's basically how these developments operate.
So effectively, the investor or the SMSF, because I understand, I'll ask you two questions. One is that I understand that this is only for SMSFs only.
Yeah, we have developed this product exclusively around the SMSF market. We're very passionate about SMSFs getting access to good investment products. Lots of wholesale funders would like to get involved in this, and we're basically saying no. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get the smaller investor, the consumer, as close as we can to making the money, if you know what I mean. And then that enables the less people in that value chain, the better to the actual investor. So we're actually releasing it exclusively just to SMSFs. So to invest in it, you need to be an SMSF. But the structure also allows, there's a lot of mums and dads out there, Grant, as you know, with like $100,000 in their super. They want to get control of it, they want to manage it, but it's very difficult for them to leverage into property. Whereas this way, you can invest in these developments for as little as $5,000. So, and the yields are quite good.
So at the end of the day, the super fund's really sitting alongside the developer, and ends up acquiring the property wholesale, and then the difference between the wholesale and the retail price is obviously going to be the yield over a period of 18 to 24 months, no doubt.
Correct. It's this. I see this model as no different to a value redistribution. And value redistribution is taking place in lots of different markets with Amazon taking on bookstores and things. So this is another example of value redistribution. We are taking the value that would normally be delivered to a bank or to a developer, and we're saying, no, we're going to redistribute that value and deliver that to the actual participants that are involved in the investment.
So if people want to know a bit more, where's the best place to go?
The best place to go for this opportunity is to speak to a specialist SMSF advisor. So speak to your SMSF advisor who gets access to the PDS and all the required information, or speak to SMSF Partners who are looking to distribute the product, and they'll give you all the information that you need.
And your website?
The website is www.smsf.me, and it describes the product, and there is an investment project link that you can actually have a look at and read about. But the product is being distributed through specialist SMSF advisors, if you like, just so that, and they've got to come and do some training with us, just so that they really understand what the product is. It's not a invest in property for investing in property's sake. It's a value generating proposition.
Perfect. Okay, Mark, thank you for turning up today. This beautiful day in Brisbane.